Welcome to the channel. Today we've got an interesting little save idea. What happens when a club goes into administration on console? Doesn't happen that often, to be fair, and this one has got a lot go wrong with it. Sheffield United have gone £200 million in debt. They've been docked 12 points and it looks awful. How would it be mismanaged this bad? I don't know. I'm going to dive in and we're going to show you how it happened. This is about 12 seasons into my actual save. I'm doing some in another part on a Dafuge. And yeah, it's incredible how the AI has cocked up this club so much. Let's get into it. So according to this, they got net debt of £208 million. They've made profit actually over this season of 35 million, but they have actually lost. So they've got a net debt of 208 million. They've made a profit of 35 million this season, but they've still not been able to get up to the administration. So at the moment in time, it's showing that their income is actually 95 million and they've expended 59 million. You can see on the transfer expenditure, they actually have dropped on what they've been spending out by 19 million. Their wages are 13.25 million, and it looks like that's dropped by 93%. They must have been drowning in wages over the last year. They were nearly halved it, gone down nearly 100%. That's bizarre. The income has obviously gone high. I mean, they've got players sold as 48.5 million. That's pretty good, but they've down quartered that from last year. Other income is about 10%. It has gone up 10%. You can see season tickets have gone up by 2%, which is nearly 12.5 million. Sponsorship, look at that. Sponsorship, that's one of the big things. Sponsorship has gone down 65%. They've lost 65% on sponsorship. That's a good £6-7 million sponsorship gone. What else have they got? They've got, let's see here, they've got player wages have come down. Loan repayments have gone down. Loyalty bonuses have gone up 50%. So when they've been renegotiating those contracts of paying those new players coming in, they can about 6 million. So it's gone up 50%. Their tax has obviously gone up because they made profit. The gate receipts have gone up slightly. Okay, so they are going to be, as I confirmed, 12 points deducted. That's just been confirmed for going into administration, which is a regular punishment. So Sheffield United actually sit now 23rd on 5 points after 9 games. But obviously the goal difference is quite well because obviously they've scored 6 more than they've conceded after 9 games and they've been docked 12 points. So they aren't in negative position, which is really good. But let's have a quick look, see what they would have been. They should have been 4th, but look at it. They would have been in between Birmingham and Hull on 17 points. So they will be disappointed with that. Okay, so if you ever want to know what the financial position of a club is, if you go to the profile and move down to information, that will give you their position. So it will say if it's in administration, it will say if it's okay. You can click the more info by here, and that will give you obviously all the information, all the history of that club. So it says here it's in administration, it's got 28,000 season tickets. Prediction was 7th, so they're expecting it to be a decent season for them. And they're looking to stabilise because it's the administrator in position following a takeover. Okay, so if we look at staff, instead of having a chairman or an owner, you've got the administrator. This guy's called Paul Monday. He's in post. He hasn't sacked the manager or anything, so they've kept the staff on. So I reckon I'm going to try and see what happens when he take over in the club in administration now. And we'll dive in and see what Sheffield United are when he take them over. Okay, so we've taken over Sheffield United. So the immediate expectation is please don't get relegated. Be competitive in the FA Cup and be competitive in the Carabao. And I mean, it's just closed the financial window as, so, you know, that's not a massive issue, but it is September 36th. So the transfer window has closed. There is a transfer embargo because they failed to pay the players' wages. So the Players Association have actually paid them, and that's why they're under they've gone into administration. Let's have a quick look, see if there are any clubs that have already gone circling and tried to get the most money they can out of the club. So you can see here, look, that Monaco and America have gone in for this lad, Felix Lindfors. Now, it's only the 7th of September, so when did that bid come in? There you go, the 7th. So literally, the day they went into administration, Monaco and America offered money to try and sign this player. That's a bit of shithousery girl love. So basically it's saying they have paid this month's wages but also placed an embargo upon any transfers until the money is repaid. So basically the wage budget isn't being met, and therefore the PFA, you're going, right, you're not getting anything, you're not having any transfers unless you pay the money back. That's great. I never knew this was the case in console. That's really cool. So these are obviously all the players. You can't really offer them anything, because if you go in to offer them, for example, they can't get a contract because you can't offer the money. So although you got so much in wage budget, you've got the embargo on preventing you signing players as well, or offering you contracts. Okay, so let's have a look at the finances. So the current overall balance shows, let's see, £46.8 million debt. The wage budget is 58. So we can see player wages are the largest amount of expenditure. Like the season before last was £49 million. Transfer expenditure last season was £27 million, and this season is 19. £49 million in wages, considering last month was £4 million alone. That's about 50 odd million pound in wages. That's huge. This month alone, it's going to be 700 grand, and that's only like the first week. They are, no wonder why, look. They've spent £7 million this month as well for transfers at the end of deadline day, but look at it. Loan interest and repayments are £24 million. Tax alone is £10 million. That's a lot. Jeez, no wonder why they went into it. Last season, they spent £148 million, but I don't think they were in the Premiership last season. Income-wise, they are 90, so they overspent by £50 million last year. They brought in £54 million of players, which is by far outweighing most of what else they've brought in this year. And obviously that's income this month. They sold £8 million this month. So they sold 8. They sold 8, brought 7 in. That probably cancels each other out. But good God, 48 million, 54. They've made like £100 million in player sales, and they've gone into administration. That is bonkers. Okay, so let's have a look at the bank loan. So this is what the overall debt is. They've got £14 million in creditor debt, which means they're owed £14 million. But they've got net debt at £208 million. They do owe, as we saw, £40 odd million in bank balance. And the remainder of their loan is £14 million as well. So what's that? 145 plus 46 is 100. Oh no, the transfer debt is money they owe out. So yeah, that's why they're £208 million. They've got they took out 2 years ago on the 11th of December £176 million debt. They are paying interest of £31 million. They pay £1.8 million a month, and they're doing that for over 10 years. And that seems to be absolutely ruining their finances. Let's have a look what their sponsorship looks like. So bear in mind, they lost a massive sponsor. They lost like £6 million. So they've got a couple of deals still to go. The stadium sponsor is only 900 grand. Let's see here. They've got another stadium sponsor for 4 years, which is just renewed for 3.4 million. Nice. Shirt sleeve sponsor. Can't get rid of the shirt sleeve sponsor. 2.6 million for 4 years, and that's the first year they're in that. You've got a stadium sponsorship for 6 years, and they are 3 years into that. It looks like here they got a general sponsor for 4.2 million per season, so that's £12 million contract. They've also got another general, which is, how many years into that is it expire? So they were 3 years into that one. They're not looking too bad on sponsorships, but they lost a massive one when you look at where they went into debt. They lost a big chunk. They lost half their sponsorship almost. Not great. They got zero budget. Originally it was 3.45. They're saying 15% of their transfer budget is being made available. See, they're still saying the wage budget is 10. You're still allowed to spend an extra 10. You can't spend it. You can't pay the wages. Why is it? They're saying, oh yeah, have a 4 million and spend £60 million a year. An extra £1 million. You can't afford it, Sheffield United. What's the administrator doing here? where have they been for the last couple of years? So they've been stuck in the Championship. So they took £146 million debt whilst being stuck in the Championship. They've been close to the playoffs, but the last 2 years have been nowhere near it. They were in the Premier League. They finished rock bottom at 20th with only 13 points. And they've been chasing promotion ever since, but look at it. And this has really cost them. Jeez, okay. All right, let's go into landmarks. We can see they went into administration on the 7th of September. They scrapped their youth setup on the 31st of August, which means they cancelled things down. They appointed a new chairperson called Socrates Komanakis. Socrates took debt on. That's when they took the debt on, 11th of December. So Socrates took £146 million worth of debt out when he took over, when he was promoted within. So there we have it. One stupid move by a chairman ruins a club. 12-point deduction. Maybe it's a gamble risk to take at this point because they're not getting relegated. They're not getting promoted early in the season. But Jesus Christ, £146 million for an internal promotion. They had £146 million worth of debt after getting relegated from the Premier League. And what did they do? They took on worse debt. And now they're in administration, can't pay player wages, but are willing to pay an extra £1 million a month. Sheffield United is screwed at the moment in time. That's how you can ruin a club in Football Manager 24. And that's not me, that's the AI. If you like this video, I know it's been quite heavy on the financial detail today, but if you like this video, why not give us a like and subscribe? Until next time, check out one of our other videos. Take care. Bye-bye.